apparently, Riot has decided that you feed too much in custom games, and so they won't even let you play normal games as well.
Wow.
Oh, Commander C, I feel bad for you.
Jake with the shade, dude.
Post a couple GGs in chat for that. Anyway, so 2 alpha for you, banning for Team Banmumu. A bunch of new players tonight, 2 alpha for you. Virtual Lazy. Iron 4 has only played once before. Vicky Von Doom. There's a bunch of you new guys. Thank you for coming out and playing. Lighthouse is Lord Reeves playing on a new account name. So pretty awesome he was able to pick that up. So sent to the burn unit. Game 4 is not 100% confirmed. However, I'm not saying that it's not unconfirmed either. We're putting that on the hot plate for now, and we'll see. We'll see. I gotta talk to Otter about it as Wraith is headed to bed. After this one, Blitzcrank, Swain, and Ornn, the bands from Team Dr. Phil. Interesting choices there, especially Swain because you don't see him play that often.
Yeah, Swain is still pretty potent in the bot lane. Just he has so much early game all potential, and ADCs after the item nerfs just have no early game all-in potential. So the whole reason you have an ADC down bot with a support is because they suck early game. Like, they're literally terrible. So whenever you put somebody who's, well, not terrible in the early game down there, he's going to have problems. Which is why Riot for, 5 season 6, they started talking about it in season 7, that they wanted to open up the bot lane to other classes. I'm like, but the reason other classes are out of bot lane is because they're fine without babysitting until, 10 minutes when they can take over. So, is that going to be the Graves picked up? I'm surprised that's not completely banned away for the rest of the night after the traumatic experience that happened months ago. Anyway, so we're looking down at the teams right now. The Zac picked up, and it is the Gragas that's going to be locked in rather than the Graves, another G champion. So we've got Gnar and Gragas instead of Graves. So 3 Gs. I was about to make a gravitational force joke, but I'm sorry. I'm too tired for that. Locked in for the top lane. We haven't seen a Camille picked up on the stream in a while, but
that's true.
The Hextech Ultimatum, especially having the Gragas, I wonder, okay, Jake, what do you think about this interaction? What do you think would happen if Camille ults Zac and then Zac ults and tries to throw her out? Her ult gets canceled if she's thrown out, but it would also cancel his movement. So what happens?
I think that he probably would hit the wall of the Camille ultimate and be tossed back in, but CC Camille for most of the time that he was in that Hextech Ultimatum. And so I think it's because Zac's hitbox does become bigger when, because he becomes untargetable. All right, Iron 4 and Phantom of Temp. We need you to do this thing. So, at some point in this game, Hextech Ultimatum, Zac's ultimate. Let's go. Zac's ulti is immune to CC, yes. However, if Camille's ult lands before Zac ults and he immediately ults afterwards, it could be something spicy, as apparently Team 2 spelled something. I'll check here in a second. Haley, thank you for joining the queue. Appreciate that. Doug Trio 101. Doug Trio, because it's 3. Get it? Trio? 3? I got it. I heard that if they do that, then it crashes spectator mode. Oh gosh, please no. All right. Swain.
We already have enough issues with that. Thank you. We don't need a trick to crash spectator mode. Riot does it just fine all by themselves.
All right, guys. If you play League of Legends and you get stuck under a pile of salt, you can always dig yourself out with a Swain Blitz Ornn Orianna Nami, or otherwise a spoon. As we do have Lighthouse grabbing Misfortune for the bottom lane of Team Dr. Phil. As we do have several tanky frontliners, the Gnar, the Zac, as well as that assassination of the Fizz for the mid lane. On the team, Banmumu, we haven't seen Varus in a while, but he's going to be grabbed by Vicky Von Doom. Camille grabbing the jungle, though, so it will be a top lane Gragas. That's actually pretty heavy AP from the side of Banmumu on the Vladimir Gragas side of things. And the Thresh to round it out, a note for your names grab him. Rakan, the last support. Team Dr. Phil. We'll give them a second to see if they want to toss anything around, but looking across these teams, I'm really liking what Banmumu has put together between the engage, the CC, I don't even know, like Gragas ultimate to knock someone backwards into Varus ultimate who holds them in place for Thresh to CC them and throw them into Vladimir's damage. I mean, they've got tanky frontliners, the Vladimir, the engage with the Camille, the backline peel of Thresh. They really have put together a solid team. What are your thoughts on Dr. Phil's team?
So just at a glance, I always like to see Zac in the jungle has a lot of different, a lot of potential for early game ganks. To many, he's going to have a difficult time actually getting any all-ins off on Vladimir. The pool kind of screws that up because his ult is telegraphed. So he would have to force 2 alpha to completely blow his pool and then force the all-in, which is a little bit difficult to do. I don't often like seeing Rakan split up from Xayah. There's a reason they never do it with a inside of the LCS. He's a decent enough champion in his own right, but without the Xayah for the range extension on his dash, he has difficulty pulling off crazy engages. Not too bad though. Late game, Varus will do a lot more than Misfortune. Misfortune has the advantage in lane if she plays aggressively. And manages to land love taps a good bit and get the execute Qs. In the top side, Gragas versus Gnar. That comes down to play. Gnar should have the long-term poke advantage, but Gragas should have the short-term poke advantage through barrels. Gragas has more sustain, Gnar has more damage. That's a complete skill matchup there. Depends on if Gragas hits his skill shots and Gnar knows how to kite. Then, yeah, we've already been over. And Camille and Zac have kind of a similar thing going. They just appear randomly from Fog of War, and then ult you and you die. Camille's better at ganking lanes that are already fed because you just jump over the wall and drop your ultimate and they can't get away. So if one lane gets pretty far ahead and Camille's 6, I'd want to see Iron 4 start going toward that that gank there. Oh yeah, and by the way, Jake, did you hear that they are actually adding a new tier below bronze?
Yes, I did hear that, and they're taking out tier 5, so there is no tier 5 anymore. There's no bronze 5, there's no nothing 5. 4 will be the lowest. It will now be the iron, and I know that tilts you because of the grading of metal, but we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to roll through the players and the champions with 40 seconds remaining, because 2 alpha for you taking Vladimir for the top side, or for the mid lane. Virtual Lazy with Gragas in the top side. Iron at 4 with Camille in the jungle. Vicky Von Doom with Varus in the AD carry role, and no free names with the Thresh in the bottom supportive role for Team Banmumu.
And for Team Dr. Phil, you've got Salic on the top lane on the Gnar. You've got Phantom of Tempt on Zac in the jungle. Temeni on Fizz in the mid lane. Lighthouse on Misfortune in the bottom lane ADC role. And Landex rounding it out with Khan in the bottom lane support role.
And we still have another 12 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do it. But if you had to predict a win between these two teams, what team would it be?
Late game, Team Banmumu. I like that one better for the late game because of the Vladimir. However, the Zac is always a wild card there because grabbing their entire backline and turning it into their front line cannot be underestimated in value. I just don't like Misfortune quite as much as an ADC. She's good in lane and her ultimate is really powerful, but other than that, she just doesn't do that much for me. And we'll see if if she ends up taking the lethality route, which I really hope she doesn't. Lethality, in my opinion, is just not as good as it used to be. I really like that. On a completely different note, I really like that Vladimir skin. That's pretty cool.
One of his better ones. He's got a couple that aren't so good. I don't know why, but Vandal Vladimir just never really did it for me.
Yeah, there are a lot. I mean, a lot of his skins are better than they used to be before the visual update.
This is true.
Yeah, there were a lot of skins that basically just looked like you changed their clothes. It's like Riot Tristana is Tristana with pink hair. It's a Tristana Chroma before Chromas were a thing. Yeah, so Varus. Yeah, he's actually playing with. Were I Varus, I wouldn't have taken that fleet footwork. I don't think he really needs it. Granted, he's not necessarily going to have any sustain from the laning phase, but I do think he should be fine without it, just taking lethal tempo, but does go for the more sustain-oriented lane-focused build. Just using his range advantage, he should be able to bully Misfortune, or at least go even with her in early game. That's kind of the beauty of Varus. He doesn't really lose to anybody. He has a few matchups that are less than advantageous, but his range advantage and his poke advantage really just allows him to go even, at least, if not win the matchup against anybody. So yeah, I'm liking their team better, and it looks like an invade called for. We'll see if it ends up coming off pretty well. And pinged out for a trap from the opposite side. This is interesting.
This might get really spicy. So red team's going to come straight down the middle. They pinged into the river brush here. But blue team's going to come through the river. They should actually be seen 3, 2, 1 now. So Zach is going to actually see everyone. He's going to try to engage. He jumps in, hits up 4 members. The rest of the team going to follow up as well. Holy moly. 2 alpha for you is extremely low, but Virtual Rally is going to be the first one that drops as the rest of the team's trying to find the chase. There has been a flash burn initially. Wait, no flash has burned just yet. What did I see? Is no free names. Is dropped extremely low. To many gets the kill. The flash now from Varus trying to get himself out, escape alive as well. The Fizz getting pretty good damage. Zach goes underneath the turret because he still has his passive up. So Salek's going to drop underneath the turret.
This is a really bad idea, guys.
He will be dropped. They're continuing to chase in. Misfortune picks up another kill. Lighthouse is going to get executed. Iron 4 didn't even get the kill. Phantom of Temp going to treat us over. Baby Zach goes down. But what on earth was that level Fiesta? 1. Holy crap. That was just spicy. That was just spicy.
That was a fiesta in every sense of the word.
Alpha Chopstick, what's going on? I love it. 4K gold before the game even starts. We still have level 1s across the board. But let's check on who got the kills where. Misfortune picked up 2 kills before executing herself underneath the turret. Literally pixels away, Iron 4 misses out. Did still get a credit kill on the Zach, so 1 kill there, and 1 on the Vladimir as well. But man, when it's all said and done, Misfortune with 1,000 gold walks into lane, double long swords as well as boots. Temeni in mid lane gets his health dropped to half.
Wow.
Iron 4, level 2, engaging, has the red buff as well. We don't get to see much because I believe he just used his hop, skip, jump away to get out of the engage from Camille.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Salek taking a bit of damage in the top lane, but like I said, no. Okay, a little poke coming through, and it is the Arcane Comet selected from the Gragas, a little bit more poke-oriented lane, so that should give him the advantage.
Oh, nice thresh hook on the Rakan. Vicky Von Doom in trouble, though, is going to get knocked up by the Zac. Phantom of Temp with a perfect engage. Zac even gets credit for the kill, as Rakan maybe missed his initial jump, but afterwards happy to assist with shields.
Yep, and that was a level 1 Misfortune during that fight. So Varus steps forward thinking he can take the fight, level 2 versus level 1, but having 2 people in that lane, an extra person in that lane, 3 people in total. Temeni using that to dodge out, and that might be the kill. The pool burned. Does he have the Q up?
Keeps 2 alpha alive. Yep, so he survives most of the Ignite flashes the very end. He's got a potion ticking away. The flash used by Temeni to avoid Iron 4 coming in from the side. But really paying a lot of attention in the mid lane.
Yeah, Iron 4 did burn Flash in response as
Oh.
well.
Flash
So
to
that,
Flash.
yeah, trade of Flash is not necessarily a bad thing. Alpha 4 or 2 Alpha in just hit level 4 does have the advantage right now, as he is the sustained champion, will have a chance. But there are a lot of people here.
Oh, the collapse in to many getting low, though. Still has his escape on a stick, but he hops in for the finish onto the Vladimir. Wants to make sure that...
Finn, because he's a fish.
Yee.
Finn-ish.
And no free names,
No
though.
free
Wait,
names.
hold on. Flashes forward, ignites, and the flay to get the kill. The roam from the support. This is why wards save lives, guys. You could have seen that Thresh from a mile away, and you didn't have a ward down. Now Rakan put some wards in the river as they're walking away. So, Tem-Unni. To-money, not to-many. To-money? Tem-Unni.
Yeah, Salic. Oh, no. In the bot lane, Lighthouse just gets a straight-up solo kill. Despite having multiple members down on the bot side, he just walks up and just kills him. Kills him in the face.
So
Lighthouse already has access to that turret.
Landex engaging with a flash as well. Gets the knockup on no free names, but then gets hooked underneath the turret. He should be able to hop to Misfortune to get out.
Ignite, though.
Didn't really get that much off of the Thresh. His flash wasn't even available. To money, even though it's spelled with an E. Maybe you should spell your name correctly the way you want to pronounce.
It's many.
No, according to the chat, Alpha Chopstick says it's Tem-Ni. To money.
That's... No.
Anyway, 2 Alpha for you. Gets the Ignite with the pool as well. The Fizz does fall. Vladimir now 2-2-2. The scoreline paired up against the Fizz at 2-2-2. Could it be more even? I can definitely speak this late at night. The knock-up onto the Varus. His flash is up in just a second. He gets chunked down to half. Oof, Lighthouse, every time he steps forward, getting huge damage.
Yeah. Oh, and the Q landing onto that. That's going to be the Varus forced back here in just a second, I think. Does Lighthouse have access? Yes, he does have access to Flash. Varus's heal is still down, so he could flash auto Q and get the execute right there.
Knock up from Rakan, not going to land the
Big
hook, though, and the Flay pulls Landex in extremely low. The bounce with the execution drops Varus.
Lighthouse should posture forward here.
Super low. There is flash from Lighthouse. I think he's going to flash auto.
He should.
We'll see if he decides to do that.
He has a Dark Harvest stack. Flash Q onto Varus gets them both.
Varus Q going to drop Lighthouse a little bit lower. Could take some damage from a turret. No free names. Is healing up with some health pots as well. Lighthouse flashes forward, throws out the Q, gets the kill, but going to get his own life over. Varus getting credit from the turret that shot earlier. He hit with that Q, the piercing arrow, that dealt just enough damage to Misfortune that when she died to the turret, she then gave a kill back over. So kill for kill trade on the bottom side, and that actually favors Varus because he got a shutdown with that.
Yeah, he also gets denied that really big wave, though, so it's not actually advantageous for him. He manages to go even in gold, but he loses out on a ton of experiences and loses wave control, so he's not going to have, he's going to be having a hard time for himself. Oh, and looking toward the mid lane for a second for Temeni, he's actually mechanically playing pretty well, but his issue is he keeps timing his engages, unfortunately, right when 2 Alphas and the slam
comes back up.
wall.
Salic with some good damage onto Gragas on the top side. Virtual Lazy starts to heal up, has a refillable pot as well, so we're going to be using some of those. Mega Gnar not going to be lasting for too long as Iron Force around the corner looking for an engage onto Fizz. We'll see when they decide to go in. Salic, small form, though. Virtual Lazy just chasing in. Flashes forward for the last crit. Takes out the Gnar. Now Iron 4. Double buffs as well. Comes in for the stun. Red buff getting the slow. Temeni just gone before he's able to do anything in response. Flash still down.
Yep. And he had used the jump to go forward.
Whoa, Zach comes to the bottom lane, only level 5, but he's still going to now kiss the 2 bottom laners. They're going to be shut down with Lighthouse as well. Ignite taking away the shield keeps Phantom of Temp alive, even though I think he has his passive back up and available now, level 6 as well. Camille not even going in on it. 6, 2, and 3 is the scoreline of this Misfortune, and Lighthouse is just wrecking.
Yeah, getting 2 free kills before the game starts on a very heavy lane bully champion always feels really nice. Phantom of Temp just sitting in that brush, doesn't know he's on a ward right now, so he is going to channel that recall, fortunately. Really, the optimal decision right there was right as that wave hit the tower. He should have, Lighthouse and Landex should have gone back. Phantom of Temp is spotted out here. They know he's here, but they also have now spotted Iron 4 up in that brush.
Could be some pretty intense engages down there as the bottom laner from Team Banmumu comes back in. Camille around the corner. Phantom of Temp is still sticking around, level 6. Waiting to see what he can do in the mid lane. Vladimir going to be chunked down to about half, but he is that healing mage, so he'll back up. That is not only a nice skin, but a good chroma as well. Like, that's a good-looking Vladimir.
Yeah.
All right, enough drooling over that skin. Camille headed away from the bottom side as the Team Dr. Phil's bottom lane decided to back away. To many, not only using... I'm going to check on that skill really quick.
Trickster.
Playful slash trickster, but also flashing away. Gets himself underneath this turret, but the flash from Camille to try to follow.
I'm expecting the ultimate here from Camille. They can use it to trade aggro if Camille jumps forward using hook shot and stuns up.
Oh, but Zach around the corner gets the knock up onto the Vladimir, and he's going to pull the two of them together. Also, Vladimir back underneath the turret as well, forced to use the pool, but it might be a little bit too early. The Ignite going to tick away, finish him off on the bottom side. Varus falling, no free names, quick to follow, as the bottom lane is actually going to give up on chasing him, instead focusing on that turret. Mega Gnar up on the top side. Zach here as well. Hops in. Doesn't get the knockup. He's a little bit out of side of the knockup zone. Will knock them together, though. Iron 4 getting some pretty good damage. Finds the slow as well with the leg speed. Virtual Reality going to knock both backwards in. This is the turnaround as Zach, his passive is going to be popped. Salic away, trying to do what he can to get as much damage as possible onto the Gragas. He's regenning so much. The barrel's going to explode. He's going to get the kill onto the Zach. And Iron 4 with a nice trade. Gets the stun onto the Gnar. Picks up a second kill, and Banmumu get 2 back on the top side despite losing the bottom turret for first turret to Team Dr. Phil. Mike Tython, yes, I think you guys get it. Is it the one where he's holding the bird? I think he's holding the 2 pigeons, and he says, now kith, because he wants the 2 pigeons to kiss or whatever. So, I don't know. Wraith, did you lag out, or are you just sitting really still? Wraith. All right, we got Wraith bot. Wraith is just chilling. He's in ice mode. He's obviously suffering some ping, or maybe he got ulted by Sejuani. Who knows? There he goes, popping away. Doesn't matter. We can solo cast the last of these games as Vic Von Doom comes in the mid lane. No free names here as well. 3 members for Team Banmumu pushing in. They want a turret trade of their own. The Nexus turret in the mid lane is low, down to about a 5th. 2 Alpha for you, starts the auto attacks off. Varus coming in as well. He's got the ultimate now. Decides not to use it. They just take the turret and back away. It's Windrake starting the game off, so neither team really rushing for it. Phantom attempts engages so far have been really solid, but did lose out on that top side when they engaged a little bit too hard on the Gragas, who's now coming back to lane. Camille joining as well. Iron 4 hopping over the wall with the Blast Cone. Joining 2 Alpha for you. Vicky Von Doom coming around from the side. Lighthouse may be in trouble. Rakan starts the ultimate. Charming away with the quickness. There's 5 members of Banmumu. They're going to use the redemption as well. Zach comes in, trying to get what he can, but he actually hopped in a little bit too late. Now he's in trouble. Rakan going to be dragged, and he's going to be ulted by the Varus. Dropped low, hooked and flayed. He's going to go down. Vladimir picks up 1 kill, goes in, trying to get damage on the Phantom of Temp. Lighthouse as well, dropping underneath 300 mark. Too many joining the fight. He's full health, but there it is, 1 bit. Wraith is on cooldown. Super Synapse on the call. He's... Yeah, now he's on gray zone, on cooldown. There you go. Get a little too hype, I suppose. As Too Many ignited, dashing away, trying to save himself. Earlier to heal, you donated 100 bits. I don't think I ever got around to thanking you, but that is really, really appreciated. Too Many trying to escape. Virtual Lazy underneath the turret, throws out the barrel. He tries to walk away. Not going to happen. 12 kills to 12, even in gold. Things have tied up, ladies and gentlemen. And now it is all about who can do the carrying. 7 kills for Misfortune for the side of Team Dr. Phil. 4 kills on the Gragas, 4 kills on the Vladimir for Team Banmumu. We'll see what these players can pull out. 2-0-2 on the Camille as well. First items finishing across the board. Rod of Ages for the Gragas, looking to go the tanky route. Hextech Ultimatum. Well, that's the ultimate from Camille. Hextech Proto Belt, sorry. On the Vladimir, looking for those engages. For the side of Team Dr. Phil, you've got, oh my gosh, Hextech Proto Belt on the Ziggs. He does have a broken stopwatch sitting in his inventory as he used it earlier. Not too much avail as Misfortune able to finish off that Dusk Blade already. Is a huge item to get super early on. I'm a monkey. Is he a fish? Is he a monkey? I don't know. So if he's a monkey, do you throw out bananas? Could be it. Could be it. All right, 2 alpha for you, defending the mid lane, but there's 2 more members of red team. There's the engage from the Rakan, the knockup as well, but Vladimir's immediately going to pool the ignite ticking away. He's going to be dropped down. Landex actually gets it with that initial ignite, so Vladimir, unable to heal himself to safety, he's going to fall in the mid lane, which is going to give Dr. Phil the time they need to take out that turret. No one from Banmumu here to defend. The Thresh and Varus are heading from bottom lane, walking their way up, but the turret is already gone, so a second turret over to red side. They got a lot of wards around Rift Herald as well, so they could rotate into that as Salix desperately trying to defend the top lane, building up that rage bar. Needs a couple more auto attacks to get it, but will Camille give him the time of day? Stun up underneath the turret will drop. Iron 4 going to take a couple turret shots as well. There's pings, though, from red team to ignore the rift here. Instead to engage. Landex going forward. Not going to find the knock-up. Iron 4 flashes to safety for the moment. Gragas underneath the turret trying to do what he can. Ults people back. Landex is low. To many, though, coming in from this side. Sorry about that hiccup. And the Gragas gets one in trade on the Rakan before going down himself. And now Zach tries to get some CC. Still will go down to many. Drop by Iron 4 with a good play. We can actually back this up and watch that fight again in a little bit slower motion, as I'm actually going to back up a lot more. All right, let's break this down. What happens here is Virtual Lazy gets the ultimate. Phantom of Attempt unable to find the hook on anything. Virtual Lazy is going to get a trade of kills on the Rakan before going down. Now we got to back away and check out what's going on over here, as Demeni is super... Oh, as he tries to re-engage onto Iron 4, she gets the Magic Shield resist, as well as the Hextech Ultimatum. There's the Proto Belt as well. Good turnaround from Iron 4 on this Camille to knock out that Fizz. So a 2-for-1 trade between the two teams. As Lighthouse maybe in I'm sorry. Iron 4 may be in trouble as Misfortune Blast goes her way into a Q range and straight up murders Camille. Yeah, that's not a little bit of a shot. That's a giant hole weeping in your chest and seriously hurts. So, did a full client repair. I see a play button at least. Commander C, you made it. Glad you're doing it. Monkey skin for Fizz. Let's see it. As the hook comes down onto the Gnar, he's trying to build up the stacks, but Vladimir's already taken on Misfortune. This is good for Banmumu as they're able to pick up a double kill and now rotate onto the Drake if they so choose. The Rift Herald's still available as well for now. Let's see what their movements do. They do ping onto the Wind Drake. Rakan coming out of the base, though. No free names is going to be seen by a ward. Backs away. The Wind Drake started by Vladimir. He's just autoing it down. I will trade you... It's like wind for water. We're getting some Avatar going on here. A little bit of wind, a little bit of water. A little bit of wind, a little bit of water. A little bit of wind, a little bit of water. Where's Wind Wall when you need it? All right, Banmumu able to grab not only the Wind Drake, but also positioning on this bottom tier side. Landex looking for an engage onto 2 Alpha. Finds the Charm and the knockup, but he might be getting a little bit over his head. Backs away very quickly. Too many unwilling to go in. So that engage going to be down for a while. Now, Landex didn't flash, didn't have it, so he should have the flash next time his quickness is available. So they're just going to try to get some positioning. But there's nothing down here for Dr. Phil to fight for, so I don't understand why they're not rotating and instead going for the Rift Herald, because they could be either fighting for vision or be actually fighting for an objective. But as it is, Landex with a nice quick hop over the wall, keep himself safe. Infernal Drake, the next one up on the map. I think we need to call him the Otterman. Alright, Ford, I'm happy with the Scuttle Steel. Yeah, you can't get everyone, though. Can't get everyone. There it is. Team Dr. Phil rotating to the Rift Herald. A lot of Banmumu on the bottom side, they're starting to put pressure on that bottom tier turret, dropping it down to half. Virtual Lazy gonna take a couple turret shots. Blue side playing a little bit lazy. Salic showing up, but he's gonna find himself 1v4. Hop over the wall! Hop over the wall! I think he's gone. Yep, Salic goes down, trades his life over for Rift Herald, though, to Banmumu, so they got one objective, but that's traded over to a turret on the bottom side for Team Dr. Phil, and now they're pushing onto a second turret, so Banmumu really need to back quickly if they want to try to stop this second tier turret from going down. They are going to spawn the Rift Herald on the top side. Is this going to be an extended base race? Are we going to see the base race? As Timeni trying to defend the mid lane with Iron 4 there. That's the second tier turret falling. Team Dr. Phil pushing that one in. Now Shelly going to get a slam on the top tier turret. It's 3 with Shelly versus 4, and now 5 as Iron 4 is going to join. Fizz is here, though, and his ult's going to actually stop, but the root comes down onto Fizz. He's going to be hooked up as well by the Thresh goes down. Salic trying to stop some of the backs as Shelly's going to get a slam onto the second turret. There's a pause coming through. Now the question is, why? Why the pause? I can check the chat real quick here. I think the pause, then Nar says, everybody all right? Misfortune says, as we start a fight, lol. Varus. I think Varus is taking a quick restroom break, guys. So we get to chill out. We get to chill out for a moment and analyze some of this game as we take a restroom break. And my nose, I think it might be something with the allergies, but my nose is doing that weird running thing again, especially on the right-hand side. And that being said, I probably will actually... Let's talk about a couple different things here as we are sitting in this pause. So, I was thinking about going to a 4th or a 5th game, but I think Otter really wants the opportunity to shoutcast some as well. So what we're going to do after this game is not immediately host Otter, and I'll switch over there. And who knows, maybe Jake will play in a game. Actually, I do want to play in a game that Otter shoutcasts. But also, after the game, I'm going to... oh wait, Wraith is back! Wraith is back, which of course I should actually answer instead of sitting here. All right, looks like the cooldown of Wraith has come off of cooldown, so he's going to be back up, ready to use his abilities. Sound good?
Analytics was on... XLNC's analytics was on cooldown, so...
But it has come back up as... So, as I was explaining... After this game, I'm going to play the DragonCon highlight reel, which I think you guys should watch because Otter spent a lot of time on it, and it's really cool and breaks down exactly what happened at DragonCon. As soon as that is over, we're all going to raid
the game for me.
Raid over to Otter's channel, where we will jump in a queue that he builds, which should include Haley as well. Commander C. Wow, yeah, that's a bit much, Commander C. A bit much. Anyway, so we're going to watch the DragonCon highlight reel video, then we're going to raid Otter's channel, and then we're going to let Otter shoutcast some games. I'm probably going to play in one of them, and then the only reason why I'm not going into a game 4 or 5 myself, guys, is because I have a lot of work to do on Institute of War. A lot of work to do in Institute of War, and I want to get it up and running as quick and as awesome as possible. So I'm going to actually spend probably that same amount of time that I would be shoutcasting getting Institute of War further along. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of graphics, a lot of fanciness, but don't worry, it's going to be worth it. So that is the current plan as we're sitting in this pause. 20 kills to 15, 33,000 gold to 32,000 gold. We just saw a attempt of a somewhat outside the base space race. Hey, GG Ren hosted you with 1 viewer. Thank you, GG Ren. If any of you guys are on the West Coast, GG Ren is a fantastic late night streamer to follow. She's not only super chill, she plays some fun games, and she has a fantastic Discord channel as well that if you stream, it's a really good place to get your channel up and running because there's massive support on that. As we do finally get back into the game, 2 Alpha for you ignited, but we'll be immediately backing away. There's the ignite picking away. It looks like the next, inhibitor turret will be dropping low. Shelly able to finish the last hit on it. In the meantime, Nar has fallen, and the rest of the members of Team Dr. Phil will back away. Pretty gnarly. Oh, wow, great. As Iron 4 pushes down the bottom side inhibitor, the Nar did fall, as well as Fizz earlier, but after getting minions, hitting that inhibitor turret will back away. That seems to be the call to not go any further than that. So open inhibitor on the side of Banmumu on the top. And between the two pushes, I would say that Dr. Phil won out, being able to pick up not only 3 turrets, but open that inhibitor as well.
Yep. Really, if Camille had stayed on the top side, though, they could have traded well, considering the fact that the red side did have the Rift Herald in their advantage. From what I saw of that fight, loading in a little bit late, it was just a numbers disadvantage. Game still fairly even as the gold goes across the board. Varus still substantially far behind after the absolutely brutal beating he took in lane. But that's balanced out by the fact that his mid laner is fairly far ahead right now. Vladimir doing well for himself. Landex posturing forward a little bit, trying to get some vision down onto Camille, who is recalling next to a ward. They know this is happening. No free names might be caught out here.
Landex jumping away, but Temeni goes in. Whoa! Ult into dash, takes out Varus immediately. That was some serious damage. And so Temeni picks up one of the carries for Banmumu. Though Varus hasn't had the best of games, 2-7-4. But with that, though, blue team is going to back away. Virtual Lazy on the top side. Tries to get the body slam, just misses. Salix still in trouble, though. 2 Alpha for you is going to be hooked up for a moment and pulled back into the team. Going to fall as well. Salix just getting Meganar in time. Still going to fall as Camille rounds around the backside. Iron 4 goes in, finishes off the kill. The second turret's going to fall in the mid lane for the side of Banmumu, but they're trading for a second tier on the top side. Now, the rotation from Dr. Phil, they want this inhibitor, should be able to pick it up. There's only 2 members here to defend, but they might lose the top inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they should have gone for the mid lane inhibitor turret as well.
Ooh, Venom Attempt passive is popped. Knock up onto Thresh as well. The minions have been chewed through by the turret in the mid lane. So now they're just engaging underneath double Nexus turrets. Temeni dropped as Vladimir comes back up. They've lost the top inhibitor turret themselves. Inhibitor should fall as well. Salic not here in time to defend. So both inhibitors on the top side down for both teams. Still fairly even, but they're re-engaging onto the Gnar with minions actually. As Banmumu on the top side have the minions.
Good flash.
The good flash from Lighthouse. Gets the ult, doesn't do that much damage, but a Q will chug through the Vladimir, take him out.
Wait, no, they can pressure this.
They have the mini wave now.
Making that was the correct call. They could definitely go forward and pressure onto that mid lane inhibitor turret. Probably couldn't take the inhibitor down, but definitely would have had the potential to go for it, as Camille still has not recalled. I believe she's taking aggro. No, she's just randomly spamming recall in a bush for no reason. Salek gonna get caught out by Camille, who misses the hook shot, so he's gonna be okay. Infernal Drake coming up right now. Big deal. And Camille didn't get a chance to back after that, so she's still sitting on gold from 2 towers, so that's a kill's worth of gold.
And an inhibitor and a kill on Salek as well. So a lot of gold not to bring to the party. Thresh, death sentence initially starts on Zac, but he's a tanky boy. Quickness onto 2 members. Causes Thresh to ult very early on, so not much there. Gragas being pulled to safety with the Dark Passage. Gets out. Varus Q gonna come slicing
Alpha's
through.
Ultimate
The Infernal Drake reset with his aggression, his frustration. Varus ultimate's gonna miss as well. A lot of spells from Banmumu just completely whiffed this fight. So Zac charging up, jumps in, wanting to engage. The Infernal Drake is starting to get low. Hextech ultimatum onto Lighthouse, gets him low. It does get the shutdown. Redemption a little bit too late. And now there's only 3 members of Red Team here trying to defend. Zac hops back in once again, but the Infernal Drake is nowhere near low enough. Landex goes in as well. He's going to drop, and so the Fizz, the only one left alive. Banmumu coming back in the late game. And despite members extremely low, they're able to win the fight and now start a push somewhere, most likely that mid lane with a huge wave.
Yeah, that completely went south. You need the Rakan in this instance, knowing that there's a Camille and a Vladimir who are just going to go straight for your super fed ADC. You don't need to be looking for engages. You need to be looking for peel. That's really what separates a good support from a a moderate support from a great support is the ability to know that
Oh!
Annie hits the ultimate and it doesn't do anything. How sad. No, but that's what separates a moderately skilled support from a really great support, is knowing when your ADC has an advantage to not look for... Because it's so much fun to go and engage on the enemy team. But, you know, when your advantage... let's see, how many kills does... you have an 11-4 Misfortune on your team, who's really your win condition in fights. It's better to make sure he stays alive.
Oh, Zanya's used by the Vladimir. Broken stopwatch? Wait, what?
Vladimir taken off the table, so they could theoretically go for a
broken
Baron.
stopwatch. Okay, I was confused for a second. All right, we'll see if they can catch out. No free names as well. He starts the ultimate, flays 3 members back in, but it's going to be still way too late. Camille ult comes through onto Lighthouse. The Gragas helping out as well to shut that Misfortune down.
Varus over the
still
wall.
turn around from the Gnar, trying to get as much as he can. Will be dropped by the Varus, who's just been free hitting this whole time. And Team Banmumu win yet another fight as Vicky Von Doom. I'm actually probably going to back it up at the end of the game and rewatch that fight, because I think he just sat over the wall auto-attacking for free the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, he was just excellent positioning by him. Nobody turned damage onto him, even though he managed to get 6 stacks of Ginsu's and then just pop off his all of his different passive strikes. So that's a lot of damage that managed to come through from him and turn the fight around, despite the fact that 2 members of Banmumu got caught out before that fight even happened. And that casts major concern onto their ability to team fight at all. Vladimir much stronger in the late game than Fizz. And really, even though he was caught out before that fight even happened, they still managed to lose it. So yeah, that's fortunate for Banmumu, because that bodes well for their late game prospects. And as I was saying earlier in the game, MF, despite being fed, is less effective in that late game than the Varus.
Phantom of
Varus is actually my least favorite ADC, though.
Hitting that 3k health, trying to be that tanky front line, trying to find those engages, but the combo that you want to see out of Team Dr. Phil just hasn't worked out super well this game. They're not able to layer their CC correctly and really catch out Team Banmumu. And part of that really has to do with that Thresh CC. Iron 4 waiting around the corner. We're going to find Temeni. He's just over the wall, though. Hops his way to safety, but the Gragas ultimate knocks Misfortune in, though Iron 4 is still already dropped. Gragas hops around the wall, though, to catch Misfortune out. Good play by Virtual Lazy, who's now running through the enemy base, but he's drawing all the members of Team Dr. Phil away from the Baron, which is what Banmumu have in their sights. Gragas is going to fall. We'll see if the 3 members from Banmumu decide to turn on to Baron. They've got a Varus. He's got a Rage Blade. That's all they need, all right?
They actually theoretically could, because they do have somebody to tank it. They could trade aggro off, and yeah, they have percentage max health damage. They could do this.
But they're...
Why does Varus have the on-hit build? What is this build?
It's, according to the chat, on-hit Varus as well, so...
What?
According to the chat, 6 Refrost says it's on-hit Varus, so...
No, it's not. It's... The typical on-hit Varus build is Bork into Rage Blade followed by the attack speed item. But why is he building Edge of Night?
It's the budget on-hit. He got it on 60% off sale at Kohl's, all right? Don't judge his choices.
It was a BOGO.
BOGO.
That's short for bogus.
I like it. 33 kills to 26, 54,000 gold, 4,000 lead for Team Banmumu. No Mumu in the game, so obviously the strategy is working out very well for them. Lighthouse, 12, 6, and 10. If she's able, or he, as it is a he playing a she, what? Confusing. Is able to find an opportunity to really layer the damage and the team fight is slightly extended, can carry a fight easily. However, has been sectioned off so many times and so well by Banmumu's backline of the Camille diving in that she hasn't been able to do that much this game. Virtual Lazy looking for an opportunity to position forward. Has the ultimate available. No flash. Phantom of Temp decides to go in. They found Salek. He can't get angry, though. So he's going to be dropped super quickly. The Verisol coming through, snaring up Phantom of Temp. That's the only one. They're trying to tank him away. He's ulting. Pulls only one forward. Misfortune's ult is going to be cut short as Lighthouse goes in. Hextech Ultimatum slays the Misfortune. Now Phantom of Temp going to be dropped as well. Virtual Lazy extremely low will be dropped. I think it was with a smite. No, it was the last tick from the Fizz W. Flashing forward to Alpha for You. Wants the last kill. He wants the ace. Lighthouse is not going, or Landex is not going to be able to escape. And that is the ace for Team Banmumu. Not even worried about the Baron. They're just going to take some inhibitors.
Yeah, and that was a difference in positioning and dive potential right there. Vicky Von Doom out-positioning his opposite number in those team fights, staying safe, dealing damage to the front line from a very safe... Seriously?
Interested on the pause. Somebody said, I think somebody said they had to answer their door. Yeah, Graga says...
the game is over.
BRB,
the game is legitimately over.
Package at the door. And Thresh asks, is it Prime? Amazon Prime, coming at all hours of the night.
This intermission brought to you by Feudal Hope.
Seal says he's not coming back. I think he'll be back. How long does it take to walk to the door, grab the package, sign for it, coming back? PTSD, says Caffeine. It's not been nearly as bad, guys. It's not been nearly as bad.
So what happened?
I'll go into it privately. And the main reason why I want to go into it privately is because the less people that actually know about the trolling specifically, the less likely it is to happen again in the future. And I really want to keep it on DL as much as possible. So a lot of people know that trolling existed, but not everyone knows how. So we're just going to let that be a thing. All right, now back into the game is no free names. Chasing onto Sailor. Game's basically over. Vicky Von Doom only needs a couple of shots on the Nexus to finish it off. Sailor going to drop, pad the stats. Lighthouse doing what he can. Doesn't have the ultimate, though, so only has to run back to the fountain to try to stay alive. It's one death sentence from Thresh away. They do get the trade kill onto the Thresh. Vicky Von Doom starting to layer a couple auto attacks in, but here comes the Zac hopping forward. Gets the knock up onto Varus. He's gone. Timony jumping in. Now the Vladimir knocked up as well to Alpha for You. Dropped low. He's using the pool to try to escape. Now comes the Zanyas as well. Delay of time. Misfortune able to pick him off with the ultimate as well. But it's Super Maniacs coming in from two different lanes. And it's an open inhibitor on the top side as well. So Dr. Phil gets to be happy for a moment that they held off losing the game. But it's not for much longer. I wouldn't be surprised if Camille tried to backdoor.
Yeah. I think they should just 5-man it down mid. Or either that or just go for the Baron. They're stronger in team fights. And really, if they just force something out, they can win pretty easily. Yeah, Phantom of Temp. So Lighthouse now picking up the GA, and I think you're going to see in this fight why I hate GA as an item for ADCs. It's better now that it builds out of an AD item, but it's just not gold effective unless you get it earlier into the game.
Wait, he built an Edge of Night as well, Varus.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Why is his build goofy?
Well, because he's having a fun time, I suppose. As Landex gets knocked to safety for a moment. Nice shield to the...
Iron 4 gonna get dropped here, though.
Lighthouse picks up the kill. There's still 3 members of Banmumu hanging around. Virtual Lazy, super tanky, and looking for a re-engage. Gnar defending on the bottom side. Super minions pushing in. Vladimir coming down there to push out as well. Team Dr. Phil getting a lot of gold.
They're posturing for it, but they do not want this.
Oh, Timeni immediately bursted down. Virtual Lazy with way too much damage. Misfortune Ultimate going to tear through the line of blue team. No free names. Virtual Lazy dropped low, and now he's going to be dropped as well. Lighthouse cares and carries through for Team Dr. Phil with the GA as well. Vladimir around the corner, not really interested in the blue buff, now trying to run away. Stretching Strike's not going to land for Phantom of Temp. Misfortune able to pick up the blue as well, so the defense of the base continues.
They lost the most important member of their dive squad. Basically, the reason that Banmumu has been able to win these team fights is because Camille's been diving into the backline and CCing down and trading for misfortune. She's been dying for it every single time, but has managed to neutralize and keep MF from getting a crazy ultimate down. And that's the only thing she's statted for right now. She's got the Black Cleaver, lethality, and she's basically one-shot burst damage, as well as she's one auto attack and an ultimate is what her build is designed to do right now. And every time Camille has just jumped onto her and made her life miserable so she can't just channel that ultimate and annihilate the team. Iron 4 went for an incredibly ambitious play onto the support and died for it. And then Banmumu continued to look for the fight, even not realizing or not caring that they didn't have the strongest or the most important member of their team fighting squad with them. Also, Vladimir was split pushing bot lane, so it was effectively a 3v5. They got engaged on, despite the fact that Gragas managed to one-shot somebody at the beginning, they still ended up losing the fight. And this is just a free Baron.
Because they didn't get that misfortune. That's what I was talking about, of her damage being able to try to carry the team. Now they're going to turn on to Iron 4 on the bottom side. Again, Zac able to secure the kill, but Baron did go over Team Banmumu. However, the one key about this is, if Dr. Phil can win a team fight, they could effectively take Baron off of all the members of Banmumu. So it's up to them to use it effectively. Vladimir trying to split push on the top side, get onto the inhibitor. Middle inhibitor will be responding in just a second. Landex hooked in. They're once again engaging onto the support. He's going to hop to the Zac, keep himself alive for the moment. Stretching Strike's not going to do much. Misfortune all going to drop Virtual Release extremely low and finish him off. Fin with Temp now trying to find no free names. The Baron empowerment holding him in place for the moment. To Alpha for you all by himself. Stretching Strike's not going to do much work though. Can't get to the minions in time. And so, blue team back away. Dr. Phil get their 2 kills and now have pressure on the map.
Yeah, there is still Baron in play, so their pressure is going to be mitigated as soon as everybody gets back to base. They just stand next to their minions. Baron's really good for pushing, but it's also excellent for stalling. So I don't think they're really going to get anything off of this. Unless, of course, Banmumu postures too far forward and gets engaged on. They are really trying as hard as they can to throw their advantage. Yeah. So we'll see how this next team fight goes down. It's really on Landex. The Landex is the pivot, or Landex and Iron 4 are the pivots on which these team fights turn. If Landex can peel off the Camille before Lighthouse goes down, then it's going, or if Iron 4 just decides to int into the enemy team, then they can win.
Third time in a row, and Iron 4 leaves the game. If that's official, then I think that might be the final straw for Iron 4. Might be the final straw. As Salic dropped low, no free names of Virtual Lazy, going to try to get as much damage onto the inhibitor in the middle as they can from the red side base. They take it out. The ult from Phantom Attempt trying to keep himself safe, but the rest of the team is going to push back in. Iron 4 has reconnected, which is good, as the Zac gets back to the base with a nice hop. The Salic ultimate, though, going to stun up Virtual, and legendary goes the Misfortune. To many throws out the ultimate as well. Vicky Von Doom may be in trouble. He's gone down. Now Landex chasing in. A flay from no free names keeps him alive for the moment, but the Rakan gets the Ignite down. Vladimir still on the side, doing what he can, but he's 1v4, 1v5, 1v pool. Can he escape? Flashes safety for a moment, gets a heal. Misfortune all comes through. He's the Zanya's. 2 Alpha for you is staying alive, heals off of a Q. Hextech ultimatum to safety, but the last auto attack from Misfortune comes through and picks up the kill. And Team Dr. Phil continue to hold with literally an empty base and a Nexus. And 1 inhibitor, but
1 inhibitor.
Ignore the inhibitor. It's still epic.
They have 1 inhibitor and 1 big inhibitor. Yeah, it's like, okay, so inhibitors stop super minions from spawning. So inhibitors stop super minions, and Nexuses inhibit death.
Inhibit
and loss
death.
and depression. Stops elo decay. That's what the Nexus does.
Zane of Asgard, that is the best introduction I've ever heard on the stream. How much does a bowl of hair weigh? Enough to break the ice. Yes, this is the quality chat content that I ask for. Fantastic. There's the claps as well. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. We shoutcast custom League of Legends games that anyone of any rank can join in every Tuesday night as well as Thursday night. This is going to be ban this guy. Oh, I think you might be talking about Iron 4. I was like, there's no reason to ban Zane for a bad joke. That's a fantastic joke. I love it. It's
bad
like
jokes are my thing.
It's
too,
like a
so
dad joke, bad joke.
Yeah.
Pretty fantastic. Though Zach is
why are they
getting
pushing mid though? They should be
tanky.
pushing bottom lane.
5,000 health. Here he goes, looking to hop in, but it might just be onto the super minion. There goes Camille. Looks like he's side pushing. Vladimir catching the wave on the bottom side. Camille waiting as Landex goes in. Might have the engagement to no free names. Can't find a hook. Classy Otter going live, ready and waiting for game number 4 after this. Virtual Laddie comes in. Oh, there's the hook onto the
backdoor, backdoor.
Camille tried to backdoor. This is the exciting fight we want to see. She was waiting this entire time. Now the rest of red team trying to chase in, looking for the engage. Are they going to be able to fight it? Iron 4 finishes it off with a fantastic backdoor on Camille. And there's everyone leaving the game afterwards because holy crap. We're actually going to rewatch that. I actually want to back up and watch the backdoor on that again because that was spicy. So Iron 4 hanging out here, sees the fight break in the mid lane, and immediately we're going to get a little bit of a weird audio lag as it sometimes happens. Flashes to chase in onto the Nexus. There she goes, hitting it. Yeah, some of the graphics are weird. Doesn't matter. Just autoing it down, ignoring the minions completely. Beautiful backdoor. Completely broken audio because when the game is over and you try to back it up, it does some weird things. Doesn't matter. Banmumu with a fantastic end of game backdoor. Finish it off. Dr. Phil gonna have their fill of things to think about. And I'm gonna have to exit the game because it truly broke when I did that. Concluding the game, here we go. Post-game analysis. Let's talk about MVPs and honorable mentions.
Yeah, MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs. So, MVP probably going to be going over, or honorable mention, rather. I think Temeni gets the honorable mention for winning a lane matchup despite... Yeah, he won effectively against the Vladimir. That was a really hard matchup to negotiate all ins against, and he had heavy pressure from Iron 4 in the jungle. So honorable mention going over to Temeni on the Fizz, had a ton of pressure onto Vicky Von Doom, one-shotting him in several team fights. And then Lighthouse gets the MVP despite some issues on a positioning, did manage to get some massive defensive ultimates coming through, and really managed to stall out the game for a long time. I can't decide if I do have to give a shout out to Landex for a couple of really amazing engages that he pulled off, and if I'm gonna give shout outs for engages, Phantom of Temp has to get one as well. So the duo of them. One small critique for Landex: if he had peeled more for Lighthouse in the beginnings of those team fights, they might have actually been able to turn it. They did manage to hold out for a long time, but there was 2 fights where if he uses his engage tools rather than engage for peel, then the fight is just a wipe, and they can take Baron and then mid lane inhibitor, and then really posture toward victory from there because all 3 inhibs were up. Anyway, that's a small shoulda, woulda, coulda type thing. But for Banmumu, MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout outs. I think... Okay, Iron 4 has to get the honorable mention. I would give him the MVP for the back door, but it has to be the honorable mention because he got caught out 4 times in the jungle and ended up making the game go like 15 minutes longer than it should have. Oh, Lighthouse leaves his Smurf. Crap, I've been trying not to give it. No. That actually doesn't surprise me, Reeves. Well played. Anyway, as I was saying, so Iron 4 gets the honorable mention for the back door and for lots of pressure down onto the Misfortune. However, getting caught out is the reason he doesn't get the MVP there. And I'm between giving Virtual Lazy and Alpha 4U the MVPs. I think Alpha deserves it for decision making and mechanics. Virtual Lazy did some pretty neat stuff from a mechanical standpoint, but his decision making wasn't exact. There were a number of times he went forward and engaged for the one shot when he shouldn't have into the late game because they were outnumbered. So his mechanics were on point, which is why he gets a shout out, but Alpha 4U gets the MVP, both for the dive potential and the follow-up damage. He just engineered his team fights very well versus the late game split pushing was a little questionable, but I don't think it was his fault. Team was engaging. So those are your MVPs. Oh yeah, and I want to give a good shout out to Vicky Von Doom. Despite getting smashed in lane, still managed to keep from tilting, position well in team fights, and deal reasonable amounts of damage despite getting shut down really early into the game. Well played. Anyway,
let me double check real quick to make sure that I've written it down correctly. What is the MVP for the winning team?
Alpha 4U.
2 Alpha 4U. Fantastic. Cool. All right, guys. So here is what's going to go down. Wraith is going to sleep. I'm going to play the credits with some fantastic music in the background. And then I'm going to play the breakdown of Dragon Con highlight reel that Otter put together. And immediately afterwards, we're going to host and all jump over to Otter's channel, which I can actually bring up right now if you want to jump over there early. The classy Otter. There it is. And, all right. And we'll rate it in just a second. I'm actually going to play in one of the games that he's going to be casting tonight. And then afterwards, I've got Institute of War stuff to work on, which if you all want to hang out in chat afterwards, we can do that. Otherwise, we will see you guys on Thursday. Wraith, thank you for casting. Yeah. As always,
I do have to say, Zane of Asgard is quickly becoming my favorite person in the chat. Anybody who's watched the stream for a long time knows my undying love of puns. So
it's not only puns, but he's got some good jokes too. Probably copied off the internet, but that's okay.
Zane of Asgard getting MVP for chat for the evening. Pun bias.
Chat, yeah, exactly. Pun bias and chat MVP, and that's a new role. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight. We will be playing the fancy video in just a second after I roll credits, but see you all on Otter's channel in just a second.
We are made by our choices.